Hello, this is Greg Gilbert with GregGilbertCoaching.com, and I want to share an exercise with you today that I use in both my 2-hour Leading Like You Own It seminar and also my New Leader Boot Camp. Now, I think this is a very, very important part of leadership, being a manager, supervisor, foreman, whatever your title may be. I think we all have what I call a leadership toolbox, and this thing contains many different items. But I always like to have my audience help me build a successful leadership toolbox. And here's some of the things that a successful leadership toolbox will contain. A vision for the company and the team. Humility. Great leaders are always humble. That's a very important trait. Character. Got to have high character. Honesty and integrity. Very, very important. Listening skills. The ability to listen. If your lips are moving, you're not learning. You need to be able to listen. The ability to delegate task and outcomes, not just the task, but the task and outcomes. Communication skills, very important to be a successful leader. Different levels of discipline. We all normally have disciplinary programs. We must sometimes use different levels of discipline. We must have compassion for people. Hate to say it, but terminations are part of a successful leadership toolbox. If people continually cannot meet performance expectations or behavior expectations, sometimes terminations are very important in the toolbox. Performance improvement plans, when you have poor performers that are not meeting expectations. Praise. Do you know that there's only 17 vertebrae between a kick in the rear and a pat on the back, and the outcome is very, very different. Praise is a very important part of it. The desire to hold themselves and others accountable, very important. And also, here's a big one, trust. Trust is a very important part of the successful leadership toolbox. Now, I always have my audience interact with me on building this successful toolbox, but in some cases, these toolboxes contain some things that are very different from what we just put in there. They contain intimidation. They contain leaders and managers and supervisors that talk to team members about other team members. They contain yelling. They contain screaming, demeaning others, and also belittling others. And also, here's something else that's in an unsuccessful leader's toolkit, a hammer. You know, there's an old cliche that if the only tool you have is a hammer, then every problem looks like a nail. And the shame of it is there are many managers, supervisors, and foremen that are out there, and they may have a mixture of the good and the bad, but they have the yelling, the screaming, the demeaning of others, the belittling of others. I have been around leadership nearly all my life, and I have never ever seen long-term positive results from these types of leadership traits. You have to get rid of the hammer. You have to get rid of the yelling, screaming, belittling others, demeaning others, intimidation. You have to get rid of that. And that's what we talk a lot about in my seminars, in both of my 2-hour seminars and my all-day New Leader Boot Camp. So take a look at our website at GregGilbertCoaching.com. See what we offer. I'd love to have you in one of my sessions or invite me to your organization. I'd love to present my 2-hour Leading Like You Own It seminar to your group of managers and supervisors. And if you have any managers that have been promoted in the last 2 years, check out NewLeaderBootCamp.com. We cover a lot of different items on that, and I'm very, very cautious not to step on the toes of any of your policies and procedures. I have never had that complaint. I just throw out a lot of seeds, and you can take what applies to your organization. But these are all based on real-life, personally witnessed experiences. This is not your module 1 through 8 that's explained by a professional speaker. I have witnessed these as a primary HR contact of 2,200 team members. I've seen what has worked. I've seen what has failed. Some of them are my failures. Some of them are my successes. Luckily, I wrote everything down throughout the years. So look forward to hearing from you. Take a look at our website, GregGilbertCoaching.com. Have a great day, and thank you so much for your time.